Now we're going to go ahead and move on to wire management, and I'm going to get this thing back together in a demonstration mode, and we'll kind of put all the bits and pieces on it, give it another test run, and if all is well, then our next phase of the project will be sanding and painting. The one thing I have to make sure of for battery charging is that I can get to these connectors still with this all set the way that it is. A lot of hardware in here and not a lot of places to put it. So, all right, I think we have everything compact enough that we can put this together. The next step is going to be to do a final assembly for testing. Now this won't be the final assembly because we still have to do all the sanding and painting to DO, but we do need to make sure that all the systems are working correctly before we do that. To get these sides to fit, we're going to be using some magnets, so I'm going to go ahead and just hot glue a few magnets into the side plate and into the frame. We have to be sure to get the magnets with the right polarity, so I'm kind of test fitting these to each side before we glue them in. With any luck, we've got this right. There we go. Okay, we're going to keep plugging away at this. Some of the parts on here, this will be their first time that they're assembled, so this will be kind of interesting to see how it all fits together. It's always fun to get a 3D printed screw to start threading. To make sure that this moves freely. And it does. We have the headbox arm, headbox attachment. Some of the parts will eventually be glued in place or epoxied in place, but for right now I'm just going to be sort of taping them in place just so that we have them together for the test run, and we'll deal with the rest after that. Now let's get the head on here to kind of maneuver the wires, the servos, everything through here. Now we have this frame that goes in there. Now normally for the back of the head, we would have some antennas that thread in, but we're not doing that. We're going to actually just probably secure them on with screws because I don't have the antennas done and I don't want to have those in the mix yet. Okay, we have a very loosely assembled Dio and we are ready for a test. Just driving him around is not too hard, but what I'm learning is that if I want to combine the head movements with his forward motion, it's a little bit tricky. It's a little more like puppeteering than it is like driving a droid. So some of the things he can do is he can nod his head, he can turn his head each direction, do things like look up, and he can lean forward so that he really has kind of a speedy pose when he's running around. He can also tilt his head from side to side. So between all of these different ways that his head can move, he can be expressive. I'm not a good enough driver to really do that yet, but I think with some practice, we can get some pretty expressive movements, combining the head and the wheels movement together. Well, I'm really happy with the testing so far. Now all we have to do is get Dio sanded and painted, and this project will be finished. Thanks for following along, and we'll see you next time.